Hi there. If you've ever opened Blender and thought, what on earth is going on here? I can't learn this, this is too complicated, you're in the right place. I'm Eddie, I'm a professional 3D designer, and I've put together what's probably one of the most complete step-by-step Blender courses on YouTube. It's over 35 hours long with 70 plus lessons, all designed to take things slowly and clearly and without the confusion. I'm not going to rush you, I'm not going to skip steps, and I'm definitely not going to leave you pausing every 5 seconds thinking, wait, what did he just say? We'll keep things simple, really simple. So if other tutorials have felt too fast or overwhelming, please stick around. We're going to learn Blender together by creating this classic Land Rover and environment. Hello and welcome back to lecture 45. And in this lecture, let's just carry on where we left off with the whole windscreen. And in this lecture, what I want to do is put this rubber seal in here between the windscreen and the bulkhead. So that'll go in about there. And I want to distribute some screws along this frame which holds the glass in place. And I want to tidy up these posts. And the other thing I want to do, which is just purely on instinct now, not looking at the drawings, is I want to make this windscreen a little bit taller. Just looking at it, it doesn't quite look right on the vehicle. So I just want to take that up a little bit. So to do that, let's actually grab everything on the windscreen. Let's tap into edit mode. And let's press 1 for vertices selection. And let's press Z so we can see this in wireframe. And I'm just going to grab everything there like this. And let's press 3 to see it from the side. And let's make sure that our orientation is in normal. And let's just take it up on the Z axis a little bit more. I'm going to see what that's like. Going to tap out of wireframe mode, back into solid, and tap out of edit mode and just see what that looks like. And yes, that is probably more. I think that's better. Just generally, I think that's better. It's better in proportion to this panel here, and it's better in proportion to the rest of the vehicle. It just looks better now. So yeah, I'm going to stick with that. Maybe you guys had got the sort of proportions looking better when you did yours, but yeah, mine, I just needed to tweak that up a little bit. So let's look at these posts, these vertical posts. So let's click on this and let's do a shade auto smooth. And let's just grab this other one and do a shade auto smooth. Is there any others? There's one there. Let's do an auto smooth on that. And this one here. Shade auto smooth. And the other one's really concealed now, but it's there. Shade auto smooth. There we go. I also want to put a bevel on these. So let's have a look, make sure that the scale and rotation's right, and it is. So I'll grab both of them. Still scale and rotation's correct. And I'll tap into edit mode. And I want to select edges, so I'll press 2 on the keyboard. And I'm going to just come to the top here. I'm going to press Alt and grab that there. I'm going to go to the other side, zoom in a bit on that. And I'm going to press Shift Alt and grab this one. And I'm going to press Control B. And I'm going to bevel this. Yeah, that looks good. And I'll leave that at 2 segments. And there we go. So I'll do the same on the bottom edge now. And I'll press Alt and I'll grab this one. Swing around to the other side. And I'll press Shift Alt. And I'll grab this one. And press Control B. And we'll apply a bevel to this as well. There we go, that looks good. 2 vertices, 2 segments, we'll leave that as it is. There we go. I'll tap out of edit mode on those, and that looks more realistic. That's cool. Okay, so next let's work on this rubber seal just there. So let's go ahead now and go to 3 to see it from the side. And let's press Shift A. And let's bring in a cylinder. And we'll keep this vertices really low because it's just a rubber seal. So I'm going to keep this quite low. I'm going to keep this around 12 segments only. And I'm going to scale that down. And I'm going to rotate that in the y-axis. So Y90, enter. And I'll scale that down some more. And take that down. Maybe take it down some more. So I just want to put it center about there, like that. And then hit the S and scale it down some more. And now I just want to scale it down. Now let's take the orientation to global. And let's just scale it down the Z. So Z, and then scale it down so we get more of an oval shape. And I think I'll rotate that in the X. So I'll just rotate that. There we go. Take that over to there like that. And cool. Let's press 1 so we see this from the front. That's 1 on the numpad. And let's take that over to here like this. Yeah, that's good. Or maybe a little bit more to about there. And let's tap into edit mode on that. Let's press 3 so we can select faces. Grab this face here. Press 1 on the numpad again. And just take that all the way over to the opposite side. Okay, let's see what we got. Yep, that looks good. Yeah, I want it to sort of bury into the bulkhead a little bit, so that's fine. Do we want to reduce the scale of that a little bit? I think we do. So I think I'm just going to hit S and just scale that down a little bit. Tap into edit mode. Grab this point here and just bring that out. Let's press 1 so we can see this orthographically again. And take that all the way to the edge. There we go, like that. Let's press 2 so we can select edges. Hold down Alt and click on that edge like that. And let's go over to the other side. Hold down Shift and Alt and select this edge here. And press Ctrl B. And let's put a bevel on those. Yeah, quite a big bevel. And should we leave it at 2 segments? Yeah, I'll leave it at 2 segments. There we go. Let's tap out of edit mode on this one. And let's fix the scale. So we'll hit Ctrl A and apply rotation and scale. Let's right click on it and shade auto smooth. And let's up the angle quite a bit. There we go. That's just smoothed it off there at around 50. Cool. There we go. That's what we want. Low poly, but it does the job. Okay, so now let's look at the screws and how we're going to do those. So I think let's get the cursor in the right place to begin with. So let's tap on this frame and tap into edit mode. And we already have edge selection on, which is what I want. I'm going to grab that little edge there. I'm going to press Shift S. And I'm going to bring cursor to the selected. I'm going to tap out of edit mode. And now I'm going to set the origin to the 3D cursor. Okay. Let's press Shift A. And let's bring in a UV sphere. Now, what we're doing now is these screws, which is going to be distributed on this capping. So there's going to be quite a lot of those. So we want to keep this quite low poly. So the segments, I'm going to bring down a lot. I think I'm going to bring down to maybe 16 or maybe even 14. I'll go with 14. And rings, I'm going to bring those down to around 10. Let's leave it at 10. There we go, let's accept that. Let's tap into edit mode on that. and let's hit Z and go into wireframe. And let's hit 3 so we can do face selection. Press 1 to get it for an orthographic view, and let's just grab everything there at the bottom half of this sphere and hit X and delete faces. Let's go back into a solid view on this. Let's press 1 so we can do a vertices selection and grab this vertices at the top here and press Shift S and cursor to the selected. And let's tap out of edit mode. And let's do set origin to the 3D cursor. And let's bring in a cube at that position. So Shift A, mesh and cube, and just scale it down. Let's scale that up in the Y, so SY, and take this out like this. And let's scale it up in the Z, so SZ, and expand on that, and then take that down, like that. Let's scale it up in the X, in the Y symbol, so SY, and make that longer, and scale it up in the Z as well, so SZ, make it deeper, and take that back in some more. And yep, that's what we want. Maybe that's too much. I'm just going to take that up a little bit to about there. Yep, that works. Okay, I'm going to grab this item here, and the scale is correct. And let's just have a look at this one. Let's apply the scale to that. So Control A and apply rotation and scale. Click back on this sphere, add modifier, generate, and Boolean. And click on the little eyedropper and snap to this cube that we brought in. Saw that happened, so let's apply it. And let's delete this item. There we go. So that is basically a dome-headed screw. Flat-headed screw because it's a vehicle from the 1940s. Let's make this a little flatter and a little less like a sphere. So let's scale that down the Z, so SZ. And bring that more like that. That's it. Let's right-click on it and shade auto smooth. And let's tap into edit mode and press 2. And luckily enough, these edges here are still selected. So let's press Control B and let's put a bevel on that. That looks good. And I'm going to keep that one segment to keep everything as low poly as possible. There we go. Let's tap out of edit mode on that. And happy days. It's a bit facety in places, but these are going to be scaled down ridiculously, so we're not going to see them up close. So I'm not going to do much more than that. And yeah, we'll leave that be. So let's scale that down. So we'll just hit S and bring that down. That's it. Let's press 1 on the numpad so we can see this orthographically, get an idea what size it is. And let's scale that down some more. Let's rotate that in the X axis. So X and take that over like this and take it down to about there. Let's press 3 so we see this from the side and we can understand where it is. And let's rotate it. Just hit R and bring that around. And now let's scale that down a bit more. And let's make our orientation to normals and then pull that out. Pull it up a little, put it back in, and let's see what that looks like. Let's take that down. Gonna hit S and scale it some more. And yeah, take that down a little. Take it in a little. Take it out a little again, sorry, and take it down on the Y, up a little, and there we go. That's what I want. Cool. Let's press 1 so we see this directly from the front. Just looking at it again, sorry folks. Yeah, it's fine. Just take it down a little bit more to about there. Let's press 1. And with that done now, let's go ahead and press Shift D and X and take a copy over. and press Shift D and X, take another copy over. And one last time, Shift D and X, and bring a copy over to the edge, like that. Maybe take this one over this way a little bit more, and this one back this way a little bit more. There we go. Just take a minute just to sort of even them up just by eye. And once we've done that, let's grab these three. And let's press Shift D in the X and take the copy over to the opposite side. There we go. And now let's grab this one here as well, and this one, and this one. And let's press Shift D in the Z and take a copy up. Let's keep hold of them by not deselecting. And let's press 3 on the numpad to see it from the side. And let's take those back and put them in position. Let's see what that looks like. I'm going to press GY and take those, oops. I'm going to press GZ and take those up a bit. Sorry about the GY thing. I don't know where the Y came from. That's it. And let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's good. We could take them back a little bit, maybe. Let's take them back a little bit. Yep. And there we go. That's cool. Okay, let's go back to 1 so we see this from the front. And I missed to select that one in the middle, didn't I? So I don't need to go to there. I'll just grab this one here and press Shift D, press X, and bring a copy over to the middle. Whilst I've got that selected, I'm going to press Shift D and Z and bring a copy down. One about there, and I'll press again Shift D and Z and bring another copy down to about there. Let's press 3 to see it from the side. Let's bring that one forward like this. And I don't know where the other one went to. Where did the other one go to? Let's press Z and go to wireframe, and there it is there. Let's pull that forward. It was hiding in the shadows. Go back to solid, and let's just chuck these on the surface. And this one too. Cool. Okay, and now we just need to put some here on the verticals. So let's do that. Let's grab this one here and go back to 1 so we can see it from this point. And let's press Shift D in the Z and take one down to about there. And let's press Shift D in the Z and take that one down to about there. I'll take that one over straight away. And let's press 3 and see it from this side. And take that forward so it sits there like that. There we go. See what that looks like. Yeah, that looks good. And then where's that other one hiding? Let's do the same thing again and press Z and go to wireframe. There it is, hiding in the shadows. Bring it forward. And press Z again. Let's go back to solid. And let's press 3 and take that back. Okay, just to randomize these screws, since we have hold of them, I'm just going to press R and I'm just going to rotate that screw a bit. And I'll do the same here with this one. Just R and Z actually. Nope, not Z, just R. And rotate that screw as well. And that screw there is just not quite sitting where it needs to. Let's take that one over. And put that something like that. That's it. Let's take this back to global. Let's grab this one here now and this one here. And press 1 on the numpad to see it from orthographic view front. Press Shift D and X and take a copy over to the opposite side. And drop those right there like that. Let's take a look at them. Okay, what we can do now is just rotate these just to randomize them, so then it's not very convincing if they're all exactly at the same angle. So let's rotate some of these. So let's make sure that our orientation is back in normals, and let's rotate that and hit Z. It taps it again to make sure that Z is in the normal, and rotate that screw any way you want, just to randomize it a little bit. Do the same here. Rotate in the Z and tap it again and just turn that. And just keep going through these. I mean, one can be straight, that's fine. And let's do the same here. So R and Z. Double tap the Z. There we go. And just keep going through them. I mean, 1 or 2 can be straight. That's it. I'm just going to tap the decimal point of the numpad to come in on that. And I'm going to press R and Z. Z again. And rotate that. Okay, I'll go down to the bottom now, and I'll just rotate a couple of these. Maybe this one. Press the decimal point on the numpad, and press R and Z. Hit Z again, and just turn that bolt. Leave that one, maybe do this one. R and Z again. Give it a little turn. Maybe this one. Press R and Z again. Give it a little turn. And I'll do this as the last one. Rotate and Z again. Give it a turn. There we go. Okay, so it's little details like that that's really going to make our vehicle look realistic. If everything's just blocked out, it'll never look convincing. So details make it happen. Okay, in the next lecture, let's carry on with the windshield. We will do these brackets here and the nuts and bolts, which will connect them to the bulkhead. And I'm going to show you how to do this welding detail here. We're going to use sculpt mode in Blender to do some nice welding stuff. Okay, so I'll see you then in the next lecture. So I just want to take a sec to talk about my website. If you're enjoying this tutorial and you like my take it steady, keep it simple approach, then why not head over to my website. There you can explore a range of courses I've created, including architectural visualizations and animation courses for Blender, or interior design courses learning to make photorealistic renders and animations specifically for Blender. If you're interested in learning AutoCAD, the most popular 2D design software in the industry, I've got you covered with a comprehensive course on that too. Plus, you'll get sneak peeks of upcoming courses so you can stay ahead of the game. To check it out, just click on the link in the description below and don't forget to use the discount code 20OFF to get, you've guessed it, 20% off all my courses. So now, let's get back to the tutorial. Thanks very much. Hello and welcome to lecture 46. And in this one, let's just continue with this windshield and get this completed and get all the details in place. And what I want to do now is look at this bracket here, which bolts the windscreen to the bulkhead and allows it to pivot and fold down onto the bonnet. So looking at it here, it's actually got a crease in it, and then it sort of bends and comes out further. So we'll do something like that, but also we can't see the profile of it from here. So let's change our image. And where shall we go? Let's go, yeah, modeling images, and let's get something like this. And open that image. There we go. And now we can kind of see it from this angle as well and see what it looks like. Okay, how are we going to tackle this one? Let's first of all get the cursor over here. So let's click on this panel here. Oh, look, I've got a modifier. Let's apply that, the solidify modifier. Apply that. And let's click back onto it and tap into edit mode. And with edge selection on, which we've got, let's grab that edge there and press Shift S and cursor to the selected. Let's tap out of edit mode, and that's got the cursor kind of where we want it. Let's press 3 on the numpad so we can get to an orthographic view of the side. And let's make sure we got that panel deselected. Let's press Shift A and mesh and just a plane. Just a plane. Let's scale it down. And let's rotate it in the y-axis. So RY 90, enter. And I'm looking at this as I'm doing it. Let's rotate it a bit. And let's scale it down quite a lot. And let's scale it down in the Y. So SY, and scale it down this way. And maybe take it out a little bit, like this. Okay, now what? Let's take it out a little bit more. Okay, let's apply the rotation and the scale. So Control A and apply rotation and scale. And let's tap into edit mode and select one for vertices. And let's bring this one down. Maybe out and down like this. Let's press 2 and grab this edge here and right click and subdivide. And let's press 1 for vertices selection. And let's grab this vertices and this vertices, right click and connect vertex paths. Then let's press 2 for edge selection, grab this one. And let's pull that down. No, let's not pull that down. Let's extrude that down. So E and just pull that down. Like, yeah, like this. Let's press 1 and grab this vertices now and kind of pull this down as well. Kind of like this. Let's grab these two vertices here now. And let's press E and extrude those some more. And let's grab all these vertices here and kind of take them back. Like this. And grab all these vertices here and kind of take them forward. Like this. And then, yeah, how else are we going to handle this? Let's grab this one here and pull that forward like that. And press 2 on the numpad, grab this edge here, and press E, and just bring that down. Oh, like this. Let's grab vertices now and grab all these vertices here. Let's press Z to get this last one in here. And then, oh, we had got it in. And just pull that back. Like this. Let's grab these two here now, press E, and pull this down. And let's do that one more time. E, and pull this down. Let's grab all these vertices here now and take this over a bit more. And let's kind of just fudge these vertices back a little bit, just to taper this. Okay, let's tap out of wireframe mode. And let's tap out of edit mode as well and take this whole plate now over to the edge like this. Maybe even over a little bit more to about there like that. Okay, so now let's tap into edit mode. And let's just grab this edge here and this edge here. And I want to sort of create another edge there. So I'll press Ctrl R and just put an extra edge in there like that. And let's press 3 for face selection. Grab this one here, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And let's just take those back. Something like that. There we go. That's cool. Do I like the shape? I think it's okay. So let's tap out of edit mode on that and look at the scale, and yep, this scale is okay. So let's now add a solidify modifier to this. So generate and solidify. And let's reduce the thickness. So I'm going to add an extra 0 there. Enter and see what we get. And that's too thin, I think. So let's replace that 1 with a 5 and see what that looks like. And I think a 5 that's about right. Okay, cool. So let's just bring this whole thing over a bit more to about there and see what we get. And yeah, that's good. So let's apply that solidify modifier. And let's tap into edit mode on it. Select 2 for edges, grab this edge here, and hold shift and grab this edge here, and press Ctrl B, and let's put a bevel on that. Scroll the mouse wheel to add some more vertices to it, until we get something like that. So I've got 5 segments on there, and that's sort of selected that, okay. Let's tap out of edit mode again. Okay, so let's add a bevel modifier to this now. Generate and bevel. And let's add an extra 2 zeros there. Enter and see what we get with that. And yeah, let's increase the segments to 3, something like that. And yeah, let's soften these edges here. That looks okay. And yeah, I think that's good. So let's go ahead and apply that. So let's right click on the object and shade auto smooth. That's at 61 degrees and that looks pretty good. So I'll leave that about there. Okay, so yeah, that shape looks about right comparing it to this. So the next thing I need to do is go ahead and grab a nut and a bolt. So let's pinch one. I'll make a copy of one from here. Grab the nut and the bolt. Let's go to 1. And let's press Shift D in the X and bring that out like this. Let's take that up and let's take that over. And yeah, let's grab both of them again. And let's press 3 to see it from the side and bring that over like that and just drop that in there like that. Let's scale that down. Yeah, that looks about right. And drop that into the middle of there like that. Let's see it from the front. Let's just take this nut and bring this out so it looks like a complete bolt. And just grab the whole thing now and take that back in like this. And let's grab the nut and make a copy of it. So Shift D and X and bring a copy over to the other side like this. Maybe take it out a little bit further because I'm going to put washers on these. And let's grab this rod here now and scale this down just in the X, so SX, and bring this down. And just bring this, scale it up maybe a bit more in the X, so SX. And a bit more. SX. Hopefully that works, and that works. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Let's tap into edit mode on this one. So, and then let's make sure we can select faces, grab this face here and press Shift S and cursor to the selected. Tap out of edit mode on that nut. And let's press Shift A. Sorry, Shift A and mesh. And let's bring in a cylinder. Let's keep the vertices pretty low, maybe 18, and scale that down. Let's rotate that on the y-axis. So RY, 90, enter. And let's go to 3 so we can see this from the side and scale this up to about there, like that. And I'm actually just going to take this back like this. Press 1 so we can see this nicely from this angle. Cool, there we go. Yeah, that works. It looks like it's a washer on the end here, washer on this end, and a spacer in the middle, so that works. Let's right click and shade auto smooth. And I think we're just going to apply a bevel to this outside edge here and this outside edge here. So let's press Ctrl A to apply rotation and scale. And let's tap into edit mode on that. Press 2 so we can select edges. And let's press Alt and grab this edge here. And press Shift Alt and grab this edge here. Press Ctrl B. And let's put a slight bevel on that. Cool, let's reduce the segments, just 2. And we'll leave it there like that. Okay, let's tap out of edit mode and see how that looks. And then, yeah, that looks good. That looks absolutely fine. It looks like a washer, and a spacer, but we've kept the geometry as minimal as possible by making it one component. Okay, so in the next lecture, we're going to do some welds on this edge here. And we'll go into sculpt mode to do that, so that'll be cool. We'll be learning something completely new. Okay, so I'll see you in the next lecture. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you want to see more tutorials just like this, be sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you can get notified when new content drops. You can also check out my channel for more episodes of this series, or you can head over to my website to explore my full range of courses. Okay, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.